How's my hair looking? Sorry about that hat head I got going on there. Alright, this is a little segment I like to do on my show called If I Was the President. I kind of got the idea. I was inspired because it was either Dale Carnegie or Napoleon Hill or one of those guys. Back in the day, you know, they used to I can't remember who it was. Maybe you can refresh my memory. Somebody out there, I'm sure, has a better memory than me on that. But he was helping out the government during wartime to do his patriotic duty and all that, to just, you know, help out, give him some advice, get him going on stuff. So that's kind of what my inspiration is for this. And today, the story came up that they just assassinated the leader, I guess, of the Somali terrorist group. I was reading the article and I was thinking, oh yeah, maybe this is ISIS, but it was some Somali group. And I'm sitting there thinking about it, and I'm like, dude, why don't we just do that every time? Why don't we just, like, why isn't that the first thing we do? Just take out the leadership of whatever, you know, just take out the leader. The guy's sitting there on videos and stuff, and just being out there. I think it's a lot smarter to just it seems like that's a good bang for buck as far as defense. Like, why don't we just do that every time? Like, why don't we just, even if we don't have a missile that we can just launch, basically we're pretty close to just having one we can launch right from here and just shoot it up into space, and in an hour or whatever it just comes down right where it's supposed to be. But we have drones and all that right now, but it looks like you guys need to put a little bit more work into targeting these people and tracking them down and finding them, because that seems to be the issue. Like, you seem like you're doing these little assassination strikes like quite a bit, but I think you need to do a little bit more homework, and there's really no excuse. Like, what do we have to put some money into this or something? What do we need to do to, I mean, I thought we had better tracking than I guess we do, because in my assumption, it's like, I assume that we can pretty much, we have like shadow identification stuff from the satellite. I mean, what are these people doing? Like, walking around in tunnels? Don't we have things that can see through buildings and tunnels? I mean, with the technology, it's like you would assume that they could find someone on planet Earth. Like, you'd be able to see where they were or track them down somehow. Like, is it the government? Is it because it's like inferior? I mean, or is the military not communicating with the government and they're not? Like, what is going on with that? You know what I'm saying? Why can't you find where this guy is? Step one. You know who he is. The top guy. Just take, I mean, these terrorists that are out there, these groups that are just raising hell all over the place. It's like, you know who the leader is. Why don't you just target him and then take him out and just do that, and just kind of calm down a little bit with all the random, it's like strike, 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 causing all this collateral damage. You're like giving us a bad name. You're doing a bunch of shit that's like obviously not working. Like, you need to step it up in the tracking department. And as far as like tracking people down, why don't you hire Dog the Bounty Hunter as an independent defense contractor type deal? Like, why isn't, I don't get why that's not going on. Why don't we have companies out there that can just track people down? And then you find the leader and you just take them out. And that way we only have a few military actions that go, you know, it'll just be pretty much known. And what it does is, who in their right mind, who's intelligent at all, would want to seek leadership positions within that organization, you know, or an organization of that type. Like, anyone smart with any brains is going to be like, fuck that, dude. I ain't going to be that guy. So what that does is then you don't have the brains running the thing. So it would be like more, I don't see why we don't focus on that first. You know, like, why can't we just do that? In 2014, you don't have the technology to kill anyone on the planet that we need to kill or want to kill. We don't have that capability, and what is going on where we don't? Why are we spending money on anything? I mean, it all depends how much you want to spend in each area. Like, obviously, you have so much to spend towards terrorism. You guys probably know what the threats are and what the priorities are. But towards the money that we spend on, I mean, ISIS and all that. That's a pretty big story in the news. It seems like it's like, what the fuck? It's a big deal. So what's going on? Why don't we have a way to just take out their leader, and then when they get another leader in there or whatever, we just take him out like the next week, and everything just kind of, you know, they can do their thing and they get another leader or whatever, and he gets taken out instantly. Like, eventually that is going to really cut down on their momentum, in my estimation. So, I don't know. I'm probably just being unrealistic with the technology and what we have available, but I'm just saying, why can't you put 2 and 2 together? Because it seems like we could. It seems like if you wanted to, you could get that done. And it would be a lot more preferable in terms of, it seems like everything. It just seems like it would be so cheap. It would be just so much less damage to innocent people and their property and all that. And just invading all their countries and all that, you know, like, what is the point of all that? If you can avoid that, and just like, even after all that, their leaders just continues to just lead. You know, that has to give people that really has to boost their confidence quite a bit, when the entire world, basically the military of the entire world, is like not stopping them or just allowing them to continue to live. You know, that gives a lot, that motivates all the rest of the people below them. And that's just my guess. You know, I'm not an expert on this shit, obviously, by any means. You know, I have no military experience. I am just basically some dude on YouTube that's like just giving his opinion on something. But I seriously think this is something that you guys should be looking at. So, government, there's your tip for the day. Doing my public service, you know what I'm saying? My patriotic duty. Taking a little bit of time out of my day. Getting you hip on some ideas that, you know, take it or leave it. But if I was president, that's what I would be working towards. So,